Hi everybody and welcome back to Dragon Eye Creations. If you're new here, my name is Laurel and I love to create. And of course, one of my favorite things to create is gnomes. And if you're like me, I always figure it's all about the hat with my gnomies. So I wanted for some time to get out a video for you guys, just the ultimate hat video. So here it is today. We're going to go through all kinds of hats, from basic little gnome hats to some more technical ones, maybe some more fun ones, just all kinds of gnome hats that you can think of. And if you are new, not new to my channel, if you watch regularly, you know I do not usually use patterns. It's something I just don't use. So today I did make up a few patterns for you guys. This is very new to me, so let me know in the comments if this works for you guys, if you liked it this way. There is for the more technical ones, so I'll show you guys those. Also with these, I did prepare my pool noodles with arms, noses, and beards so that you can see that already. You don't have to worry about that part. We're just doing hats today. But with that, with the pool noodles, I do vary my sizes sometimes. So I will indicate for you guys if it's the larger noodle or the smaller one. So anyways, we have a lot of hats to go through today. So let's get started. Okay, so for our first guy, you can see I have our body all ready to go with our beard and our nose and our arms. So for the very first one, we're going to do just a regular gnome hat. I'm using some cotton and some pink minky just for the trim. So for the cotton, we are just going to cut a 17 by 9 inch piece. And then for our trim, it is going to be 17 inches long by about 2 inches wide. And we're just going to hot glue that good side to good side right at the bottom. Flip it over, tack it down a little bit just to help you out, and then we're going to trim off any extra. Obviously I cut it too long, and then add a little hot glue there and just tack it down at the back. Fold it in half, good side to good side. I'm going to use a straight edge here just to get a very straight triangle shape, and then we're going to cut it straight across. Some hot glue all along the side, gluing right to the trim even. Press that down. Turn it right side out. And then we're just going to add a little polyfill. Try that on, make sure it works for you. Then add some hot glue all along the inside of the trim there. Place that right on top of your guy. And then for the top of him, I'm just going to take another piece of that pink fur or pink minky and make a little trim piece just by hot gluing down my edges at the back so they meet each other in the middle. Then take it and just hot glue it to the very top of your hat, wrapping it right around the top, cutting off any extra. Just give it a little hot glue right at the very end there just to finish it off, sorry, and then cut off your extra. And then, of course, any little embellishments you want to add to your hat as well. I added just some little paper flowers. And there you have it, one basic gnome hat. Now, for just a little bit of a different version of that, we're going to do the folded over gnome hat here. So we're just going to, again, 17 by 9 inch piece with our trim at the bottom, good side to good side. Flip it over, and then we're going to tack it down at the back. Fold that in half, take your straight edge and make a triangle shape. Cut that. Add your hot glue. Turn it right side out once again. Little bit of polyfill, again, just a little bit. This is what makes the variation for this one to make it so it does fold over. You just want a little bit right at the base there, then play around with it. I find if you fold it over so it's a straight line there and then it flips over really nicely. Add your hot glue all along the base of this hat again, attach it. For the top of it, this one I'm making a little pom-pom by just adding a little styrofoam ball to a scrap piece of that same blue minky. And just wrapping that around with some hot glue. Attach that to the top of your hat. That helps it fold over as well. And then I just add a little hot glue to keep it folded over. And there you go, a folded over minky hat, or gnome hat. Next, we are going to work on the slouchy gnome hat. For this one, I am using this is all minky fabric for this one. It is going to be 18 by 10 and a half. So it is a bit bigger. You want this one to be quite big on your Gnome actually. So again, we're adding our trim to the bottom, hot gluing it good side to good side, fold it over, tack it down at the back, fold it back over again, fold it in half. For this one, I am going to do a rounded triangle shape though. So I'm just going to trace that with a little, my felt pen here. Just kind of make, as you can see, it's just rounded slightly. Cut that out. Hot glue down your edges together, good side to good side, of course. Turn it right side out again. A little polyfill in there. And this one you're going to add a little bit, and then you're going to try it out. And what I do is just gather it and pull it all down from the base down. A little more polyfill, gathering, seeing it where it wants to slouch. A little more right at the base, kind of making my hole in the center for the head. Once you are happy with it, you're going to add some hot glue at the base. Playing with that polyfill, moving it all around in there. Gathering it all down again. And now you'll see where your natural folds will come, and we're going to just add a little hot glue in between those natural little fold lines. Depending on how slouchy you want to make it, it is up to you how much hot glue you want to add. Just all the way around I did this. Then I started adding some little pine cones. This is a little Christmas hat. So I added some little pine cones to those little wrinkles, a little snowflake to the top. And there you have one slouchy gnome hat. For our next one, we're going to do a tall pointy hat. For this one, we are using 11 by 13 cotton piece and a trim piece of 11 by about 2. And we're just going to hot glue down our edges at the back so they meet in the middle to make some trim there. And then we're taking this piece of cotton that is 11 by 13, and I'm going to trace out a triangle all the way down to the bottom. So it is a very long pointy triangle, as you can see. Then we are going to hot glue down our edges. Because it is so long, I'm only going to do a little bit at a time. Then I'm going to turn that right side out, using a tool if need be with this tall pointy one. Lay that down flat so your seam is right in the middle, and then I'm going to trim that so it is a solid piece at the bottom, one straight across piece, sorry. And then we're going to add that trim all the way around the edge at the bottom. Just with some hot glue, take that little, this is some bubble minky that this trim is made out of. I really like this stuff. It is really nice to work with. Just wrapping that all the way around our cotton hat. When you get to the end, a little more hot glue, tack that down and fold it over and then hot glue it again. Then I'm going to take this rubber coated wire. You get this in the garden section at Dollarama. I'm just going to fold down my edge, measure it so it is the same length as my hat, and cut that off. Little hot glue right at the top, sneakily slide that in there. Now a little polyfill all around that wire. Playing with it, making sure it's all around there nice. If you get a little too much in there, I had to play with it a little bit to get the polyfill to go right to the very top of the point. Then keep stuffing it in. Try it on, make sure you have the right amount of polyfill you want. And this is when you get to play with your hat, shaping it however you want as well. Adding our hot glue all the way around the top of him. Playing with our hat a little more. Do you want it zigzaggy? Do you want it to be like a spiral? It's up to you. Have fun with it. I love these little pointy wire hats. And there you have it, one pointy wire hat. Next, we are going to work on our little beanie hat. This one I do have a PDF pattern for. Like I said, this is my first PDF pattern, so let me know if these work for you guys. So we're just going to take our pattern here and trace out one of these. Trim around it. Hot glue down your inside pieces when you fold it in half together. As you can see, all the way around. fold it right side out. I am now going to take this white faux furry stuff. It is this Snoopy material, and this furry stuff was a baby blanket I purchased from Dollarama that I took apart. So I'm just going to make some trim now with the white backing from the blanket, and we're going to wrap that all around the bottom of our hat, just with some hot glue, making sure we don't glue the hat together. Wrap that all the way around, hot gluing it together at the end, and then trimming off your extra. We're going to then make a pom-pom with a styrofoam ball and some scrap of that same fabric. Just wrap it around, hot gluing, and then we're going to glue it right to the very top of our hat. Then we're going to add a little bit of polyfill inside that one, not too much. Little bit of hot glue all along the base of that. Pop him right onto this guy, slide him down around his arms, making sure he's attached nice and snug. And there we have our little beanie hat. For our top hat, we are going to take these two 8-ounce ice cream containers. We're going to glue those right bottom to bottom with some hot glue all around the edge. Then we're going to take this plate, which is about 8 inches, and I'm cut out 2 circles from some cardstock with this. Then I'm going to take some blue minky, and I'm going to hot glue my circles right to the blue minky, and then cutting out just about, so it's got about half an inch all the way around or so, just roughly, so you have enough to cut tabs all the way around. Hot glue those down all the way around your circle. We'll be doing this action a lot in this video, so get used to this one. Just hot glue down all those tabs. Again, hot glue down your circle to your fabric. Cut around it loosely. Cut some tabs all the way around that. Hot glue down those tabs. Next, we are taking another piece of blue minky. This one here is 12 by 6 inches long. We're going to hot glue that now right to our paper cups here. And I'm just going to run my hand right along the bottom as I roll it, pressing firmly as I add hot glue along the cup. And then when I get to the end, I'm just going to add some hot glue. I'd already hot glued down the edge. Sorry, I did not say that. Hot glue down your one edge of your blue minky first. And then we're going to add some hot glue all along the inside of our cup on both ends and tack down our edges. We're now taking one plastic lid for these containers, and I'm going to add some hot glue along the top of that and glue it down to this minky as well. Cutting around it loosely once again, and then I'm just going to tack it down to the sides of our plastic cup lid here. And then when it is dry, we are going to trim all the way around that. Hot glue along the top of our cup. Add your lid. It is going to be tight. You have to press down firmly. Next, we are going to take our big circles there, hot glue around the edge of those. Little bit in the center, press down firmly all the way around your edges. And now I'm just going to play with it a little bit and shape what I want my brim of my hat to be like. So I'm curling up my edges, making a spot where I'm going to be adding my hat, deciding where it should all be. Add some hot glue right to that mark I made, curling it up once again. We are now going to take some silver minky. We're going to make some trim for our hat here just by hot gluing down our sides like we do so often on this channel. We're going to flip it over, hot glue down onto the back side so that your sides meet in the middle. And once we're all done, we're going to take that big long piece of trim we made and tack that down all the way around the brim of our hat. When you get to the end, fold it down with some hot glue and tack it down. Next, I just took some silver ribbon, and I'm going to cut those edges nice so they look pretty, and just wrap that all around the base of the hat there, just so they make a little X at the back. Then we're going to flip it over, make a hole, and cut some pie-shaped holes all the way around the inside hole of our hat to make a spot for it to slide onto our gnome. Hot glue around the inside of that, and slide it onto our little gnome body. And there you have one very fancy top hat. Add whatever decorations you want. Next, we're going to do a bucket hat. So I'm also going to use another paper cup. This one is a little bit bigger. These are some decorative ones from Dollar Tree that I picked up. Next, we are also going to trace around our circle here for our bucket hat. The circle is 5 inches across. We are then going to cut out another 5-inch circle, tack down our edges. Take that cardboard 5-inch circle, put it onto some silver. This is a light silver minky that I'm just going to add that cardboard circle to. We did a loose cut around that, and now we're going to cut our tabs to tack those down. Take your 5-inch circle that you cut, you tack down all the edges, attach that to the top of this other circle. I did have to paint my cup a little bit because I'm just using some cotton to go over this and it was a bit see-through. So now I'm just going to use this piece of cotton. This one here is 12 by 5.5 inches wide. I'm going to add a little hot glue to the one end, tack it down, and then some hot glue to the other end. Add my cup right near the bottom because as you roll it, it's going to work its way up a bit. So add some hot glue, roll it up. Don't let it work up too much or you're not going to have enough to finish it off. But once you get to the end, you're going to add a little hot glue, tack down that edge, and then tack it all down. Some hot glue on the inside of your cup. Tack down your edges once again, trimming the top of it away. Add some more hot glue and tack down those edges. We're going to trace this same size cup onto that same cotton fabric. Cut out the circle for the bottom of the cup. And very carefully tack down all of our edges once again. And once we're all the way around, we're going to add some hot glue to the top of our cup and then add that little circle we just made, tacking it down all the way around. And now we're going to take some hot glue and attach our cup there to the circles that we've made. A little bit of a pink ribbon along the base. Add some hot glue, just wrap it all the way around, trimming at the end. Just hot glue down the edge and tack that down. And then at the bottom of our hat, we're going to make our hole, cut some pie shapes once again. Add some hot glue, and we're going to pop that right onto our little pool noodle here. Added some more pretty flowers to this guy, and there you go, a nice little bucket hat. We are next going to start on our cowboy gnome. For this, I cut approximately 8-inch square, and then I'm just going to fold it in half, round out my corners. Fold it in half once again though, just to make sure that it is even all the way around, just rounding off your corners there. Open it back up. We're going to take a plastic Pringles to go container, adding some glue all over the top of that, attach it to the center of our fabric, and smooth that out all over the top. Then on the very front of the hat, some glue again on the outside there, smooth down your fabric. A little bit of glue on the inside now on the front, tack down your fabric in the front, and then we're going to just fold and overlap the edge piece there. You can see it just folds right over nicely. Just tack it down on the inside. Same thing on the back of the hat, glue it down, smooth it out. Little glue on the inside, tack it in the inside there. Some hot glue, folding down these edges and overlapping them, and then just tacking them down on the inside. Making sure you hot glue down all those little pieces on the inside as well, so everything stays nice and tight. And on your last little flap, make sure you just get that one nice and tight, and there you go. Now I've cut two 5-inch circles just out of some scrap cardboard again, and we're going to glue those to our fabric, cutting around them loosely, leaving us enough room to cut our tabs to fold them down. So we're going to do that around two 5-inch circles once again. Hot glue, tack down your tabs. Same thing with our second circle. Tacking down our tabs. Now we're going to add some hot glue to our first circle and attach those both together, squishing them together, folding up our edges, curling them up. Now we're going to add some hot glue and just add our top of our hat to the bottom of our hat. I then took this craft rope and I just hot glued that all around the edge of the hat there. Finishing off with some hot glue at the end so it doesn't fray. A bit more. Then we're going to cut our little pie shapes at the bottom, make our hole, some hot glue all around the edge, and attach that to the top of our pool noodle. And there you got a little cowboy. He's so cute, I love this one. Next we are going to make a fedora. So for this, if you've seen my other fedora video, I did a classic white one. This one we're going to do a coffee fedora. So we're just going to take one of those ice cream cups. We're going to cut out the bottom of it. Just cut that circle right out all along the edge. Then pinch together the one side there. Just shaping it so it's pinched together and it kind of curves in a little bit where that pinches. Then we're going to take and we're going to trace that little teardrop shape we've made onto a piece of scrap cardboard once again. Cut that out. Make sure it fits in there. It'll slide right through for now. That's okay. Once you get our fabric on there, it'll be okay. Add some hot glue. Cut around it loosely so you can cut some tabs. Tack all those down. All the way around. Next, we are going to take a 12 by 5.5 piece of fabric. This is our coffee fabric here I'm using. This is a flannel I'm using today. And I'm just going to hot glue and wrap up our cup, same as we did for our bucket hat. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up a bit. You can make it a little wider if you want to give yourself a little more leeway. It's up to you. When you get to the end, just hot glue down your edge, fold it over, and tack it down. Then you can trim away the extra, hot glue down on the inside, on the top, all the way, tacking it on the inside. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the bottom. Just hot glue it and tack it all the way around. And then we're going to take our little teardrop piece that we covered. I'm going to put that right at the top of our hat, working your way up there. Once you get it placed about where you want it to be, you're just going to add some hot glue all around the inside there. And next we are going to take two 5-inch circles. We're going to hot glue those down to our fabric, cut around loosely, make some tabs, and tack those all down. Same thing with the second one, and then we're just going to hot glue those together. Hot glue our hat to the bottom. Make some nice furry trim for the edge. Just cut about 2-inch wide strip here. I don't know how long I just cut. Usually I just cut a really long piece. I don't measure how long they are. I'm sorry. And then we're just going to glue those all around the edge of our hat. Trim off your extra, hot gluing it down at the very back. Then I just took this cream colored ribbon that I got at Dollarama, and I'm just wrapping that all around the bottom of my hat. Just at the base there, just add some hot glue, trim it at the end. Hot glue right at the top. For this one, it just sits right on the top of him. I didn't need to cut the hole for it, and just push it down. I then added some coffee beans all along the trim just to finish him off. And there's our fedora. Next, we are going to work on our witch or wizard hat here. Again, some minky fabric I'm using. For this one, it is 12.5 by 10 inches wide. And we are just going to use our straight edge to make a straight triangle shape again. Cut that out. Fold it right side out, add some hot glue along the edge, and then we're going to fold it back good side to good side again. Then we're going to find our center and make sure our seam is right in the center. Trim it off so it is nice and flush. Turn that right side out. And then I'm using two 5.5 inch cardboard circles. I'm just using the tops of some empty ribbon spools for this, but you can use whatever you want. Glue those to our fabric. We're going to cut out those loosely and then make our tabs all the way around. We're just going to keep tacking down those edges now. And then we're just going to break up that cardboard a bit. I don't want it to be quite so stiff for these ones, so we're just going to break it up for both these pieces here. And once I have it where I want it, we are going to then add some hot glue and glue the two pieces together. Next, we are taking some pink minky and just making another trim piece. Hot gluing down their edges at the back so they meet up in the middle. And then we're just going to wrap that all around the edge of our hat bottom here. Some hot glue, just keep wrapping it. Little hot glue right to finish it off at the end. Trim off your extra. And then I'm going to take a little polyfill and put that right up into the top of my witchy hat here. Little tool to help get that polyfill right up to the top. We then are going to cut out a center piece. So finding where we want that to be, we're going to cut our pie shapes like we have done for some other hats. This time we're going to make it a little different. So cut those pie shapes, flip them all up. And then we're going to add a little hot glue right to the bottom, just making sure all those layers are tacked down together. Just at the bottom, not close to the top or anything, because we're going to be trimming off our top pieces now. Now we're going to trim off all the extra little triangle pieces. Just trim those right off. Next, we're going to slide that right over our cone shape here, adding hot glue all along the bottom of it so that when we slide it on there, we can tack it all down and push it all down all the way around there. Next, some more trim for around the base of the hat. Just adding that all the way around, hot gluing it down. Finishing off with some hot glue. Then trim off your extra. Hot glue all along the base there, the hole. And slide that right onto your wizard. And there you have it. You could add a wire in there if you wanted to make it curl. It's up to you. Next, we are starting on our little chef hat. For that, I'm also using an empty spool from ribbon here. This is the centerpiece this time. We're going to clean off those edges. This one is 2.5 by 1.5 inches. I then cut out a piece of fabric. This is 3.5 by 9.5 inches, and we're just going to glue and roll up that spool, hot gluing down the edges, tacking it down there at the end, and then a little more hot glue to finish it off. Hot glue on the inside, tack down your edges. Same thing on the bottom. Then we are taking this 11-inch circle. We are going to cut that out. Placing our spool right in the center, we are going to then pull that circle up through the spool, fluffing it out on each side, making sure it's gathering properly. Then we're going to put some hot glue all around the edge and just tack those all that fabric down on the inside. It's going to be all gathered up, so you're going to have to keep gathering, hot gluing, gathering, hot gluing, but it really works quite well. Then we're going to add some polyfill in there. Check if it's enough for you. I added a little embellishment on them, made them a little Christmas chef here. Some hot glue along the inside, and just pop that right onto your chef. One chef hat. Next, we are going to work on a beret for this little artist guy. For this one, I am using two 10-inch circles. And then we are going to cut out a 3 3/4 inch circle in the center of the one circle. Right on the center, just cut that circle out. Then we're going to cut a piece of trim. Same thing as our other trim. And we're just going to glue that all along the inside of our, right to the outside of the fabric, so it's good side to good side there. And we're just going to glue all along the edges of that hole we made. A little hot glue, just keep wrapping it around. Next, good side to good side again, we're going to take our other circle, place it right on top of there with some hot glue, just attaching with hot glue all the way around on the edges. And once you have gone all the way around, you can turn that right side out. This is a felt fabric, I should tell you, for this one. I then took just a little piece of scrap material, folded down all the edges with some hot glue, and then just roll it up so I had this little knobby piece, I'm going to say, for the top of my beret. Add that right to the top with some hot glue. Hot glue around the inside, right on top of your pool noodle. And there we have one gnome beret. Oh, I'm being told it's lunchtime. We need a break, I guess. Okay, so now on to our hunting hat. Again, there is a PDF for this pattern as well. So we're going to cut out one of these. This is out of some camouflage minky fabric I have that I'm using for this one. And then we're going to cut 3 of those top flaps off. You'll see where there are little lines indicating where you're going to be cutting. So we're just going to cut 3 of those with this green fabric, and then we'll cut 3 with the hunting fabric again. I only could fit 2 in one spot, so I put another one there. So we still have 3 little triangle pieces. And then we're going to hot glue good side to good side, one green minky with one camouflage minky. And we're going to do that with all 3 pieces. Then turn them right side out. Now we're going to take our big camouflage piece we cut out, and we're going to start hot gluing all those little points together all the way around the edges. Some hot glue, one side at a time. Just so they all are attached in the centers, right up to the very top. Finishing off at the very end, going all the way to the bottom. Little hot glue all along the bottom and tack up your edges there. Turn it right side out. We're going to take our little triangle pieces and just finish them off by tacking down the edges right at the bottom with some hot glue. Do that with all 3 of them. Just folding down the edges on the inside and then pinching them together with the hot glue. Tack it down, some hot glue, and then pinch it together, sealing it off. Then we're going to attach them so the green flap is on the inside, and attach that directly to our camouflage hat right on the side, and then directly across from that on the other side we're going to do the same thing. So the green fuzzy is down, attach it right at the base. For the top one, same thing. But then we're going to add a little hot glue at the top and just tack it up. I did tack up the sides as well. For the very top, I'm taking one of the little plastic pieces from the top of a hair foam roller, and I'm just going to hot glue that right to the fabric and trim around that to make the little plastic piece for the top of my hat. We then add some hot glue all along the edges there and attach it to our little hunter guy. One hunting gnome hat Next, we are going to do our golf hat. For this one, again, there is a PDF pattern. We are going to cut out 6 of these little triangle-y pieces. And then we're going to cut 2 of these brim pieces, 1 5-inch circle, and we're going to start taking those triangle pieces and just attaching them all together so that the points line up at the top. And take your next one and attach it to your last piece that you just added. Hot gluing it all together all the way to the top again. And again, your last one you added, strip of hot glue along the edge, add your next piece. And we're going to do that all the way around our hat till we get to the end. And then we're going to attach our 2 last pieces together. We're going to take that 5-inch circle and then attach it good side to good side all along the bottom, going almost all the way around, but we're going to leave us a big enough hole for our brim and to turn it right side out. I did not leave quite a big enough hole, so I had to make it a little bigger for my brim there. Turn it right side out. Kind of have to play around with it, tucking that bottom circle kind of inside those other pieces. Now we're going to take our brim pieces, glue those good side to good side just around the curved edges. Then we're going to take them and glue those pieces on inside that little hole we made. So first we're going to glue it to the top, good side to good side there. And then we'll do the bottom, good side to good side, but I'm going to just tack down that bottom piece a little bit onto the inside so it has a nice edge. And then once I'm done doing that, I will glue it to our brim on the inside there. We are then just going to add some glue all along the top of our pool noodle and attach our hot hat right to the top. I did add just a pom-pom later. I didn't show that, I'm sorry. And there we have it, guys. All of our little Gnomies hats are done. So many different variations, and depending on your fabrics and your choices of what you want to do with these guys, there is so many different ways you can go. So have lots of fun, make lots of hats, and thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, love to all.